Hi everyone, this is Tuplex. Welcome back. So we've gotten our equipment delivered to the farm. So we've got our Amazon seeder, we've got the Cultiplow, 8 meters, we've got the large Breedle spreader for lime, we've got the smaller one for fertilizer, and I've got the Kuhn Metris sprayer for herbicide. And we could also use it for liquid fertilizer if we feel the need. And then we've got, still at the shop, our brand new Fenton 1000 series tractor. We'll pick that up here in a short while. I did bring the harvester over to field 2. So the harvest on field 1 is complete. I haven't sold anything yet. We've got almost 120,000 liters of wheat. So that should bring in a decent payday. And in the meantime, we can get the workers going over here on field 2. I think I'm going to disable the straw swath here. We'll just spread the chopped straw. I don't want any more straw. And in fact, I'm not sure that I've got the dedication to continue picking up all the straw off of field 1. It's going to take a while, and it's not a terribly interesting task, to be honest. But, all right, so we'll start getting the oats off of this field. There's the Fenton. Okay, I did drop off another load of straw. We're getting about $6,000 for each wagon load. So maybe I'll do one more. Let's get one more load, and then we'll just plow in the rest of it. Otherwise, I'll end up having to spend quite a lot of time just picking up straw. Well, if you've been watching me for any time, you know that when the tractor turns off unexpectedly, it's because I'm trying to turn on my implement, and I always seem to hit the wrong button. So I'm wearing sunglasses in this series. Thought I'd switch up my look a little bit, and I've got my case hat on. For a while I was using what was the hat I had before? I think it was Lizard. I was wearing the Lizard hat for a long time. So I'm pretty excited to get to work with all of our new equipment. It's I guess the fun thing about it is that we've managed, even though we brought over the vehicles that we had from the old farm, we are starting out with quite a new selection of equipment to use. So I'm glad we had enough money that we didn't have to, just buy new copies of all the same stuff that we were already using. It'll give us some variety, and we can try out new things. All right, so this will probably fill up before I get to the end of the row. And then we'll get started with the lime and the fertilizer. And then we'll bring the Fenton with the Cultiplow. Now I think the Fenton would also make a good carting tractor for hauling grain, because it has a higher top speed than any of my other machines. The T8 in this case top out at 53, and the Fenton has a top speed of 62, I believe. So when it comes time to sell and driving around the map, that would probably be a better vehicle to use. Although I would like to see here if perhaps I have enough money to buy a truck and have a dedicated grain hauler. So when we take a break from picking up straw here, we'll take a look in the shop and see what that would cost. I don't know if I've got enough at this point. Of course, we will have some more once we sell our crops. And we always have the option of taking out a loan again. You all know that I'm not afraid of borrowing money from the bank if it's going to help us out, especially if it's going to help us earn money. And we could also consider buying another field. That would be another option to think about. And that's usually a better investment of money, since more fields will make more income, whereas better equipment generally does not. It just makes the job easier. What we're looking for is productivity, not necessarily efficiency. Okay, so that's another 6,000. Let's go ahead and park this, or just the wagon. I think we'll use the Puma to spread the lime, since that's the bigger of the two carts. Whoops. Okay, what am I doing here? And then I'll use yeah, that's right. And then I'll use the New Holland to come behind it with the fertilizer. I'm really terrible at this. Come on. All right, I think we'll get it this time. It's close. Okay, not too bad. Let's back it up a little bit more. Let's see if we can get this a little bit more in the middle. If old man Fenton comes by to take a look at how the farm's doing, I want everything to look good, so he doesn't feel like he made a mistake selling this farm to me. All right. Excellent. So let's pick up our lime spreader and fill it up. I'm pretty sure that we can fill it up over at the silo, where it says farm supplies. But I haven't tried it yet, so let's go see. I actually didn't even check the horsepower requirements of this particular device, but I'm pretty sure it's less than 270 horse. Lime. All right. And I'm going to use my calculator to check the price just to make sure we're not overpaying for it. Okay, so $46.90. So 189.50 divided by 46.90. No, I need to do it the other way. 46.90 divided by 18,950 is 0.247 per liter times 2,000, $495. Yeah, so I think if I'm not mistaken, it's a little bit more expensive to buy it here. And I'm okay with that. It makes sense that it costs more. That would be about 10% more to buy it here on the farm, because somebody's got to load it up on a big truck and deliver it to my farm, and maybe they sell it on consignment. Like, I would think as a farmer, a great arrangement to have would be that some vendor brings seed and fertilizer and other supplies and puts it in storage on my farm. And when I need it, I take it, and he just comes and checks it once a month and charges me for what I use. Now, I don't know if that actually happens in real life. That's definitely an arrangement that's favorable to the buyer, more so than the seller. But, you know, in the manufacturing field that I've worked in for some years, that's often set up that way, where vendors will keep material in your factory and you only pay them when you use it, but it's always on hand. You know, and the same for spare parts and tools and things like that. So anyway, I'm rambling. Let's get the T6 set up with fertilizer. But before we do that, I want to drop off this front loader. We might not really need this anymore now that I've got the telehandler. So I'll just put it over here out of the way. And then I might want to get myself a front weight for this vehicle, but I do have the wheel weights on for now, so I think I might be okay. Detach. There we go. Okay. Our trusty T6. Got 27 hours runtime on this. And this is... I can't remember if I started off by buying the T6. I think I may have bought this like on day one of the last farm. I've had it for a long time. I know that. And I think I'm just going to keep it. I'm going to keep it forever. Honestly, at this point, even if I wanted to sell it, it's not worth much anymore. And since you can repair things in this game, you can repair things and get them up to 100% operating condition. You don't really have to, you know, the age doesn't really affect anything other than the price, as far as I know. There's really no point in replacing old equipment. You can just repair it and keep going as long as you want with it. Okay. Now, if I wasn't afraid to use courseplay, it would be great to set up a refill course on that spreader, but I am afraid to use courseplay until they've developed it a little bit further. I'll wait for him to turn around. Now, if I'm not mistaken, I think the fertilizer will actually spread farther than the lime does. Yes, indeed it does. Okay. And it looks like it's about a 2-to-1 ratio. And that means that the fertilizer spreading is going to get done a lot faster than the lime will. But if I can get at least the first pass done. Okay, that's a little too far. If I can get at least the first pass done, then I can start plowing. Because the plowing is going to take a while, I'm sure. All right, let's see if we do it from here. Good enough. Okay. So I'll let this finish the first pass and get turned around at the end of the field, and then I'll just put it on pause so that the lime spreader has a chance to get ahead of us a bit more. Well, you know, it doesn't matter. If we do lime first or fertilizer first, it doesn't really matter as long as they both get done. So I'll just let it run. Okay. How's this doing? It's getting close to being full. So let's empty it since the pipe is on the side that we want it to be. And then we'll go get the Fenton and bring it back to the farm and hook it up to the plow and get the plowing started. And then we'll need to decide what to plant on these fields. And I'm thinking maybe it's going to be soybeans. In Felsbrunn, we did soybeans pretty much every time because soybeans always make more money than everything else. And I don't expect it to be much different on this farm either, but we'll take a look at the prices. And well, here's what we can do, because we are going to need to get corn to feed the pigs, right? So we're going to have to grow corn at some point. Maybe we can do a semi-realistic crop rotation. One of the viewers, and I apologize, my friend, I can't recall your username right now, but one of my viewers who's a real farmer commented to me a while back and was telling me about, a typical real life crop rotation, which was essentially to alternate. I mean, in the most basic sense, it was to alternate between corn and soy, because the soy would replenish certain nutrients that get consumed by the corn. And he said that the soy, if I can remember what he told me, he said that the soy could be planted directly over the field stubble, using one of the seed drills like the Horsch that we had on the last map, or this Amazon. And he said, but that the corn they would have to plow and cultivate every time, and the game is set up so that you have to plow every time you do corn to get the most yield. So it might be kind of fun to simulate that. Maybe we do one field in soy and one in corn, and then alternate them. And if we get tired of doing corn, because we're not going to need a ton of corn for the pigs that we have now, when we get tired of corn, maybe we could throw in some sunflowers or some wheat or something like that from time to time, so that we just don't end up planting soybeans every time. But growing soybeans on at least one of our fields every crop cycle is probably going to be a good idea financially. So we'll do that. We'll do soybeans at least on one field, or whatever's paying the most. We'll do one for money, and we'll do the other one for variety. Man, this is a slick tractor. I really like the dashboard. There's even an arrow there that tells you what direction you're going, in case you can't remember if you're going forward or backwards. I wonder if we can catch some air on this. Let's see. Nope. That's disappointing. Maybe we'll try it again without the weight on the front. Okay. Yeah, I'm here for the plow. And I think we'll have to use this vehicle to pull the seeder as well. So I guess those are our, we have a choice of options for the money that we have now. We could purchase a row planter and a corn header so that we can do corn. Oh, and you know what, we might, I don't think we need a cultivator, because this cultivates as well as plows, right? Okay, what was that message that I saw? Oh, okay. Yeah, the lime spreader is empty. All right, let's get this guy going first. I want to see it. I want to see it go to work. It's really a beautiful looking machine, this Fenton. The bright red wheels and the green. Has a fairly aggressive stance. I like it. My family doesn't understand why I geek out over farm machinery, but I think it's pretty cool. Okay, let's see. Yeah, and I think this will leave it in a cultivated state. It does. All right, so we could take a row planter right on top of this. And we're going 11 kph. Let's see if that's the speed we're supposed to get, or if that's the top speed, I should say. Top speed is 12. Why am I only getting 11? Maybe my wheels are slipping. Okay. So let's go to the shop and let's put duals on this and see if that helps. Maybe we just need a little more traction to get to top operating speed. I mean, the tractor and the equipment are both brand new, so it's not a maintenance issue, I know that. All right, and the workshop is in here, yeah? I think I remember passing it on the way to the field. Yep, there it is. All right, so let's see if we could put dual tires on here, if we do any better. And I'm going to be careful to leave myself some room on the sides, because I've had the game crash on me when I put duals when I'm close to something. So hopefully that won't happen this time. All right. We want twin wheels. Okay, good. Nothing bad happened. All right. Pick up our weight. Well, definitely looks ready for business now. And I think my two tractors over there are blocking one another. Okay, let's see how we do now. Well, I see it, you know, playfully peaking at 12. It did seem to accelerate more quickly, so I mean, I don't visually see any wheel slippage here, so I think this is, maybe the 12 is a rounding error. It seems like this is the best we're going to be able to do. Okay, let's get these guys sorted out. Yeah, I think the best thing would be to move this fella out of the way. And then hopefully, yeah, then the fertilizer can carry on. And we'll go refill. Right. So let's see what a nice big row planner would cost and what the truck would cost, and then we'll decide which one we should invest in. Right now I'm thinking that the truck is, you know, it's not really a necessity. It's more of a nice to have item. Whereas the row planner, I think would be a little more instrumental to the operation of the farm. All right, so let's look in the shop here. Okay, so a basic truck, and if we're going to say we're in Canada, we would probably want something like the Warrior or the Hulk. Although, to be quite honest, I much prefer the look of these Euro-style trucks. All right, so that's 100,000, and then a big trailer is maybe another 100. Oops. 78, 80. Yeah, none of these are terribly expensive. So we could get set up with a truck with the money that we have. And if we were going to go for a planter, you know, we're looking for something big here. That's 12 meters. That's a pretty good size. And I think that would actually be the biggest one. Yeah, so the tempo, that's 129K. And the corn header for the ideal, oh, that's in a different class. Here we go. Or a different category, rather. That's 90,000 for the ideal. Okay, so to make a long story short, we can afford either option. Helper F has completed a task. Which one is Helper F? Is that the fertilizer spreader? Could he be done already? That seems awful fast if he is. Actually, I don't see it. Where'd it go? Oh, crud. I'm not going to be able to see where the lime stopped. I'm going to have to look at the map. Okay, I'm going to have to remove the plowing. Okay, so I stopped just north of the number 1 there. And I don't know if it's in the same spot on the mini map or on the PDA as it is on the regular map, but yeah, there's a little bit of lime right there. I think that's where we left off. You know what I should have done is, sometimes a little trick that I do is I'll leave the front weight on the field where I stopped. And that way it's easy to get back into the right position. All right, I think I can move over a little bit more. Let's come over a bit, and we'll just set it off here. Okay, close enough. All right, so the guy that finished the job, which was Helper F? There's G, E, and B. Yeah, I saw that message that said that Helper F was done, but I don't know. I'm not sure which vehicle that was. Okay, we're hitting 12 now. Good. Okay, and this is almost done. And you can see it's barely used. We've barely used any of the fertilizer to do this fairly large field. So I think not bothering with the extension on this was a perfectly valid idea. All right, let's get this fella emptied. And I think we'll get the planter and the corn header rather than the truck. And as soon as we have enough money, again, we'll buy the truck. Of course, if I buy the truck now, we can use the sale of the crop to buy the corn stuff. What is oat selling for these days? Pretty good price. So if I get a full load on this, that'll give me about 90,000. And then we'll get over 100,000. Nah, it might not be enough. Let's play it safe. We'll get the corn header, Quasar, and I like it in red and black. I generally feel like the default colors are pretty good. And then we need the planter, which is going to be the Vaderstad. I don't know if I pronounced that right, Vaderstad. The Tempo L16. It has a capacity of 7,080. I don't know how much of it is fertilizer and how much of it is seed. I hope that we don't have a problem filling it with seed and fertilizer here in the farm. If we do, then we may have to purchase a separate seed bin or something like that, like we did at the last farm. I haven't tested this silo filling into an implement that holds more than one type of stuff, so we won't know until we try it. All right, so we can do, maybe we'll do this smaller field with corn, and we'll do soybeans on field 1. At least I think this one's smaller. It certainly looks smaller. Field 1 is about 9 hectares. And I know that because we can see it on the statistics, and I'll show you in a moment. And we'll know the size of this one when it's finished as well. Okay. If you go to your statistics, and you can see harvested hectares, which is the 6th item down on the list on the left. So we've done 5 so far in this playing session, which, we started harvesting field 2, right? So we know that field 2 is 5, perhaps up to 6 hectares. And then, of course, the difference between that one and the total is field 1. So right now it looks like, field 1 is close to 9 hectares. I did take a look at it when I finished field 1 yesterday. So these are good sized fields. And, if we wanted to consider other fields, taking a look at the prices, field 3 is 350. I don't know how big it is. Field 7, 450. Field 6, 672. So they're comparable in price to, I guess, the larger fields were on Felsbrunn. Field 3, 4.26. Okay, so it's smaller than field 2. And what was the other big one? 12, I think, was the big one. 6.54. No, that wasn't the big one. What's the big one that's close to us? 6. Let's see if field 6 has a contract, so we can check the size. No, nothing on field 6 yet, but anyway, that's another way that you can check the size of a field. Now, one thing I notice is that the contracts on this map are much better. I think it's because I started in new farmer mode. On Felsbrunn, I started in farm manager mode, and then I changed the economy to easy. But it seems to me that changing the economy does not affect the contract prices. I've also noticed that it doesn't affect the loan interest. So even though I changed economy to easy, I was getting more money for the crops, but I was paying the same interest as I was playing on farm manager mode. And you may recall that I observed a couple times that it seemed like my contract prices were not as high as I was seeing some other players get on their maps. And I think that's the reason why. I think those are still locked into the mode that you started the game with, and not the economy mode that's in the options. Right, so I think I'm definitely going to do these fertilizing contracts. I mean, those are, in fact, I'm just going to accept both contracts right now, and as soon as my T6 is done, you silly worker. He went the wrong way. And spread lime on the part of the field that already had lime on it. Well, that's what I get for not being a better supervisor, I guess. Good thing lime is not too expensive. Okay, so while I'm refilling that, let's deliver, wink wink, our new stuff from the shop. That way we'll have it here on the farm. Thank you, Mrs. Jenkins. Please let me know when you make more apple pies. And I'll take Mrs. Jenkins a bottle of nice Canadian whiskey. She likes to knock back a few glasses, if you know what I mean. Yep, she's a partier. You wouldn't think it looking at her now, but back in her day, she was pretty wild. I like making up stories about these imaginary people. All right. Let's see. There we go. All right, so I'll let it go this way, and then hopefully it'll stop when it gets to the part that it's already done. Okay, that's done. Great. Where is... Oh, okay. Yeah, the T6 finished a while ago, it looks like. All right, so I'll put him on field 2. And then when field 2 is done, I will go and do those 2 contracts that I accepted. I don't think there's any expiration date on those, but anyway, I'll get them done fairly soon, regardless. The plowing, it seems, is going to take a while. So if we're going to be doing corn on a regular basis, it might be worth considering buying another plow to pull with the T8. And I don't think the T8, well, maybe the T8 might be able to pull that same one, but it could be a smaller one with the T8. Either way, we'd be able to get the work done faster, having 2 machines doing it at the same time. So, yeah. So as we have some money available later, that could be one of the upgrade opportunities that we consider. All right, so let's get this fertilizer going. I'm curious when I go to do maintenance on my header if the workshop is going to get confused between the header and the header trailer. I haven't tried it yet. All right, so we're out of time for today. And I think taking the crop to sell will be a good opportunity to see some more of the map. So I will wait until the next episode to do that. You know, normally I would do that offline, but I think at least this first time that we do so, you might like to have a drive with me and see what other parts of the map look like as we transport our crops. So I will wait for you to get that task done. And in the meantime, I will continue this field work and do those contracts. If any other contracts look interesting, I may do those as well. And then I'll get this harvester washed up and repaired and ready for the next round. So until then, thanks a lot for watching, We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.